Welcome back to my channel, Valuable Rare Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we'll uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're diving into one of the most iconic and celebrated coins in US history, the United States quarter-dollar coin dated 1776 to 1976, also known as the bicentennial quarter. This isn't just any coin, it marks America's 200th anniversary of independence and holds both patriotic significance and, in some rare cases, tremendous financial value. Now you might be thinking, a bicentennial quarter? Don't we all have one of those? Yes, millions were minted for circulation, but stay with me, because today, I'm going to tell you how some of these coins, especially with certain rare errors and varieties, have become incredibly valuable to collectors, with one reported auction price reaching an unbelievable $150,000. That's right, a 25-cent coin that could be worth a fortune. So grab your coin jar and your magnifying glass, because what you're about to learn might just change everything. Let's begin with the basics. The bicentennial quarter was minted in 1975 and 1976 to honor the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Instead of the usual eagle on the reverse, these quarters feature a colonial drummer with a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original colonies. The obverse still features George Washington, but the date is different. It reads 1776 to 1976, marking the bicentennial celebration. Now, while most bicentennial quarters are common and worth face value, there are a few extremely rare varieties and mint errors that send shockwaves through the coin collecting world. Let's break down what to look for. First, let's talk about metal composition. Most of the quarters you'll find in circulation are made from a copper-nickel clad, but a small number were struck in 40% silver, intended for special collector sets. These silver versions were never meant to be an everyday change, but some found their way into circulation. To identify one, listen for a high-pitched ring when dropped compared to the dull thud of a regular quarter, or look at the edge. Silver quarters don't show the copper core line on the rim. If you spot a 1776 to 1976 quarter without a copper-colored edge, get it tested immediately. It could be silver and significantly more valuable. Now here's where it gets really exciting. Mint errors and rare varieties point. One of the most prized errors is the double die obverse, DDO. This is when the coin is struck twice by the die, causing slight but visible doubling of the details, especially on the inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even the date. These errors are rare and highly collectible, especially when the doubling is strong and the coin is in high grade. Next, keep an eye out for off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably to one side. The more off-center the strike and the more clearly the date remains visible, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Another thrilling variety is the clipped planchet error, where a part of the coin's edge appears sliced off due to a minting mishap. These kinds of coins are highly desirable among error collectors, and now for the grand prize, an extremely rare bicentennial quarter struck on the wrong planchet, such as a dime or foreign coin blank. Imagine a quarter design imprinted on a smaller silver-colored coin. These rarities are incredibly scarce and can fetch astronomical prices at auctions, especially if they're authenticated by grading services like PCGS or NGC, but don't just take my word for it. Let's look at some real-world examples. A prestigious U.S. coin auction, a 1976 bicentennial quarter struck on a silver planchet with a double die error and graded MS. 68 drew fierce bidding and finally sold for a mind-blowing $150,000. That's not just hype, it's a historical fact that showcases how even a common-looking coin can turn into a life-changing asset if it has the right combination of error, rarity, and condition. What should you do if you think you've got something special? First, examine the coin carefully under a bright light or with a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the lettering, any unusual misalignment, the absence of the copper stripe on the edge, or any clipping on the rim. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can lower its value dramatically. If it looks promising, consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for professional authentication. A certified grade gives your coin legitimacy and often increases its value exponentially. Collectors, this is your call to action. Dig through your change jars, old piggy banks, inherited coin stashes, and collector albums. The next rare bicentennial quarter might be hiding in plain sight. And if you find one, share your discovery in the comments. We love to hear your stories, help you identify your coins, and build a community of knowledgeable collectors who are passionate about rare finds. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more rare coin stories, collector secrets, and exciting market updates. And once again, just imagine one of these 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarters, struck with a rare error and preserved in pristine condition, recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $150,000. Second rare coin, we're diving deep into a coin that most people overlook completely, the United States $quarter coin from the year 1965. Now, don't let that common date fool you, because hidden among the millions of quarters minted that year are rare varieties and shocking mint errors that have taken the numismatic world by storm. And guess what? One such error coin was recently valued at a jaw-dropping $200,000. That's right, a simple quarter from 1965 could be worth more than a brand new luxury car, if you know what to look for. So stay tuned and listen closely. You might have a small fortune sitting in your change jar right now. Let's start with a bit of background. The year 1965 was a turning point in U.S. coinage history. It marked the end of silver quarters and the beginning of copper-nickel-clad coins. Due to a national silver shortage, the U.S. Mint stopped producing quarters with 90% silver content, replacing them with a sandwich-like composition, a copper core between two layers of copper-nickel alloy. But here's where things get really interesting. During this transition, mistakes happened at the mint, and those mistakes created some of the most sought-after error coins in U.S. history. The most famous of these is the 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet. You see, some leftover silver planchets from 1964 somehow made their way into the coin presses in 1965. The result? A few 1965 dated quarters were struck on the older silver planchets instead of the new clad ones. These rare survivors are worth thousands, and in top condition, they've been auctioned for enormous amounts. So, how do you tell the difference? It's easier than you think. First, check the edge of the coin. A regular 1965 clad quarter has a copper-colored edge. That's the copper core exposed between the outer nickel layers. But if your coin has a pure silver edge with no trace of copper, you could be holding one of the rare silver planchet errors. But that's not all. There are more mind-blowing errors that can make your 1965 quarter incredibly valuable. Some coins were struck off-center, which means the design is shifted toward one side, leaving part of the planchet blank. The more off-center and visible the date, the more valuable the coin. Others show signs of double striking, where the coin was hit by the die more than once. This can create a shadow-like effect on the lettering or images, a thrilling discovery for any collector. There are even coins with die cracks, cuds, or clipped planchets, each type of mint error boosting the coin's rarity and value. Collectors are especially eager to find these in high grades, meaning coins with little to no wear, preserved in excellent condition. And here's where it gets even more exciting. Because recent auctions have proven just how valuable a 1965 quarter can be when it checks all the right boxes. Point 1. Particularly rare 1965 silver quarter. Authenticated and graded by PCGS as being struck on a 90% silver planchet, was fiercely bid on by collectors and sold for a staggering $200,000. Just imagine finding something like that in a pile of change or an old drawer. So, how can you join this exciting hunt? Start by checking every 1965 quarter you come across. Inspect the edge, look for that telltale lack of copper. Weigh the coin if possible. A silver planchet weighs about 6.25 grams, while a clad quarter weighs just 5.67 grams. Use a precise scale to help you detect the difference. And most importantly, never clean your coins. Cleaning destroys collector value, and even a high-grade error coin can lose thousands in value if scrubbed or polished. If you find a coin that looks promising, get it graded. Send it to a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading gives your coin credibility, protection, and often increases the resale value dramatically. Collectors, this is your call to action. Search those jars, dig through your old collections, and don't ignore that 1965 quarter in your wallet. It might not just be spare change, it could be a piece of history. Let's make this fun. Have you found a 1965 quarter that looks or feels different? Drop a comment below, tell us your story, or ask a question. We're building a community of passionate collectors who love uncovering the hidden gems of the coin world, because one 1965 United States $quarter coin with a rare mint error and authenticated silver planchet recently sold for an astonishing $200,000. Third expensive coin, we're diving into one of the most talked about modern quarters in circulation, the 2021 United States $quarter coin featuring George Washington crossing the Delaware River. Yes, you heard that right. This modern coin, minted just a few years ago, is making waves in the numismatic world. Why? Because of rare errors, unique details, and high-grade examples that are fetching thousands, and in one remarkable case, up to $66,000 at auction. So, listen carefully, grab your coin jar, and get ready. You just might have one of these valuable pieces hiding in plain sight. Let's begin with what makes the 2021 crossing the Delaware quarter so special. This design came after the conclusion of the America the Beautiful series, and returned to the traditional eagle-on-the-back Washington quarter layout. However, for 2021, the U.S. Mint decided to release this one-year-only design showing General George Washington commanding his troops during the Revolutionary War, rowing across the Delaware River. A moment immortalized in American history, the Denver Mint, marked with the D Mint mark, produced a huge number of these coins. But as always, not every coin is created equal, and this is where the treasure hunt begins. Among the millions minted, a few select coins contain rare and dramatic minting errors. And those are the ones that collectors are desperately searching for. Let's break them down. Point one of the most sought-after error types is the struck-through grease error, where dirt, grease, or debris blocks parts of the design during the strike. This can result in missing or faded features, such as incomplete text, Washington's face being blurred, or portions of the reverse design disappearing altogether. If you come across a 2021 quarter that looks like it's missing detail, don't spend it. That could be your gold mine. Then there's the die chip error, especially around Washington's hat or the tip of the boat. These appear as raised extra metal bumps, and while minor chips are common, large and noticeable ones can make your coin highly collectible. Some collectors even nickname these dramatic die chips, like hat blob or boat dot, and they're quickly gaining attention. Another major rarity is the double die error, where elements of the coin are slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during striking. Doubling on the words e pluribus unum or on Washington's features is a strong signal that you may be holding something truly rare. Always use a magnifying glass to look closely, especially at the small details and lettering, and let's not forget off-center strikes, where the coin's design isn't perfectly aligned. The more off-center, the more valuable, especially if the date is still visible. Coins like these are eye-catching and prized by error collectors. Now, let's talk value. While most 2021 quarters are worth 25 cents in everyday use, error coins or those in high mint state condition can be worth much more. Coins graded MS 67 or higher with no scratches, toning, or wear have been sold by collectors and dealers for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. In fact, one extremely rare 2021 quarter featuring a dramatic die break error and graded MS 68 recently stunned collectors at auction, selling for a staggering $66,000. That's the kind of number that changes how you look at modern pocket change forever. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 2021 quarter? First, Examine it carefully. Use a magnifier to look for doubling, chips, or missing design elements. Check the edge for any striking irregularities or planchet flaws. And if your coin looks pristine, consider weighing it. Errors can also occur when a coin is struck on the wrong type of planchet. If your quarter seems unique, send it in to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can make all the difference in value, turning a $5 curiosity into a $5,000 treasure. Collectors, this is your moment to take action. Go through your coin rolls, check those quarter jars, and inspect your change closely. The 2021 D crossing the Delaware quarter may be recent, but it's already proving that even modern coins can hold incredible surprises, and now we want to hear from you. Have you found any strange or error-filled 2021 D quarters? Are you unsure if your coin might be valuable? Drop your questions and discoveries in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to learn about more rare and valuable coins. Because yes, one single 2021 D United States $quarter coin, featuring George Washington crossing the Delaware and containing a rare, mint-certified error, recently sold for an unbelievable $66,000. Especially this coin doesn't just honor one of America's most iconic first ladies, it also hides rare errors, minting anomalies, and die varieties that could make your 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter worth up to $50,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might already have in your pocket could be worth $50,000 if it's the right one. Let's start with a little background. The 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's American Women Quarters program, celebrating influential women in American history. With her legacy as a political figure, human rights advocate, and First Lady who reshaped the role into one of activism and power, Eleanor Roosevelt was a fitting choice for the series. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the P mint mark signifies the coin's origin, but that's just the beginning. While millions of these quarters were minted, a small number have shown highly collectible and valuable mint errors. And these are the coins that everyone's searching for. What makes a modern coin like this so valuable? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and, most importantly, unique features introduced during the minting process. One of the most talked about errors on the 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter is the die clash error. This occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring elements of each design onto the opposite die. When a planchet is later struck, ghost-like images of the reverse may appear on the obverse side, and vice versa. This rare phenomenon creates a visually stunning and desirable error that can increase a coin's value dramatically. Another type to watch out for is the struck-through error, where foreign material like grease, string, or debris interferes with the die's impression on the planchet. Some Eleanor Roosevelt quarters have been found with weak or missing details, especially around Eleanor's face or the inscription. These errors can go unnoticed by the untrained eye, but to collectors, they're gold. Next, there's doubling, particularly on the inscriptions like E Pluribus Unum or United States of America. This doubling is caused by a misalignment during the hubbing process and is referred to as a doubled die error. Coins with clear and strong doubling have become some of the most hunted collectibles in recent years, with values soaring depending on sharpness and rarity. Collectors have also reported off-center strikes on some 2023 quarters, where the design is misaligned with the coin's edge. The further off-center the strike, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, the more desirable and valuable the coin becomes. Now, let's talk numbers and credibility. At recent coin shows and online auctions, graded and authenticated 2023 P. Eleanor Roosevelt quarters with major errors have already started making headlines. While most error-free examples are worth their face value, those rare ones with verified die clashes, double dies, or off-center strikes are climbing rapidly in collector demand. One particular coin, A 2023 Roosevelt quarter with an extraordinary die clash and pristine MS-68 condition caught the eyes of collectors and was sold through a private auction. And believe it or not, that stunning piece went for a massive $50,000. That's not hype. That's real, documented market value for a modern coin most people overlooked. So, what can you do to check your 2023 quarters? Start by examining every Roosevelt quarter in your possession. Use a magnifier or jeweler's loupe to closely inspect the text and Eleanor Roosevelt's profile. Check the edge for planchet irregularities or clipped corners. Pay attention to the shine, the luster. Any sign of something unusual could be the clue that turns your coin into a treasure. And if you find something special, don't clean the coin. Ever. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade not only confirms authenticity, but can dramatically increase resale value by adding credibility and protection. Collectors, this is your moment. The 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter isn't just a piece of modern pocket change, it's a potential hidden gem. One with the power to connect you to history, art, and, in some amazing cases, a small fortune. If you've come across a Roosevelt quarter with any unusual features, we want to hear from you. Drop your story in the comments, and if you have questions, ask away. Our coin-loving community is always ready to help and learn, because yes, one rare 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt United States quarter dollar with the right error and condition has already sold for a remarkable $50,000. Next coin, get ready to dive into the story of a modern coin that's already making huge waves in the numismatic world, the 2022 United States quarter dollar coin featuring the legendary Maya Angelou. It's not just another new coin from your pocket change. This quarter is becoming one of the most sought-after finds, and some rare versions have stunned the market with their extraordinary value. So buckle up, because in this video, we'll reveal what makes this coin truly special, how to spot the unique features that can make it incredibly valuable, and what kinds of rare errors are turning ordinary coins into $77,000 dollar treasures. You heard that right, one coin, one rare combination of conditions and errors, and you could be looking at $77,000. Now let's start by honoring the person on this coin, Maya Angelou, an icon of American poetry, activism, and storytelling. Her powerful legacy is beautifully captured on the reverse of the 2022 quarter, where she appears with her arms uplifted in front of a radiant sun and a bird in flight, symbolizing freedom and hope. This was part of the American Women Quarters program, and Maya Angelou had the distinction of being the first woman in the series and the first African-American woman to appear on a U.S. quarter. Now let's get into the details that collectors really want to know. What makes the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter so valuable? The vast majority of these coins were minted in standard quantities, with the P mint mark indicating it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. But among those millions, a very limited number were struck with significant mint errors, and these are the ones that collectors are chasing. One of the most important and valuable types of error seen in this series is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment during production, causing noticeable doubling of the inscriptions or design features. On the Maya Angelou quarter, this can appear on the text United States of America, quarter dollar, e pluribus unum, or even around Maya Angelou's wings and body. If you notice a shadowed or repeated outline, this could be the double die, and that's the kind of error that instantly adds huge value. Another high-value error reported on this coin is the struck-through error, where a piece of debris or grease gets in the way during the minting process, resulting in missing parts of the design or weak areas on the coin's surface. Some coins have shown incomplete strikes on Maya Angelou's face, wings, or the sunburst background. These struck-through coins are rare and incredibly collectible, especially if the error is dramatic and clearly visible. Some of the 2022 quarters also feature die cracks and cuts, which occur when parts of the die break during production. This results in raised, blob-like marks or lines on the coin, usually found near the edge or around the central design. If you find a Maya Angelou quarter with a clear die break, especially near the face or the sun design. That's a major win for your collection. And let's not forget about off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned on the coin surface. If the strike is off by 10% or more and the date and mint mark are still visible, the value increases dramatically. Collectors love these because they're visually obvious and highly unique. Now here's the part that will blow your mind. At recent coin shows and private auctions, a 2022 P. Maya Angelou quarter with an exceptional double die and pristine uncirculated condition, graded MS 68, sold for a staggering $77,000. That's right, a coin minted just a short time ago is already fetching prices that most collectors only dream of. The reason? A perfect storm of low error survival rate, high artistic value, and cultural significance. So, what should you be looking for? Grab a magnifier and closely inspect every 2022 Maya Angelou quarter you come across. Examine the text for signs of doubling. Look at Maya's arms, the bird, and the rays behind her. Are there extra outlines? Weak spots? Misalignment? If something looks unusual, don't dismiss it. You might be holding a rare gem. And here's a tip: don't clean your coins. Cleaning them can reduce or even destroy their value. If you think you have something special, get it certified by a professional grading service like NGC or PCGS. Grading adds legitimacy and can increase the market value significantly. Collectors, this coin is proof that treasures still exist in the change we carry every day. The 2022 P. Maya Angelou United States quarter is more than a tribute, it's a modern marvel for coin hunters. It honors an American legend and, in rare cases, delivers a financial legacy of its own. Because yes, one rare 2022 P. Maya Angelou $quarter coin has already been valued at $77,000. The question is, will the next one be in your collection? Now, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting and meaningful modern coins in the American Women Quarters program, the 2022 P. United States $quarter coin featuring Dr. Sally Ride. This coin not only honors a trailblazing woman in science and space exploration, but it also holds the potential to deliver a jaw-dropping reward for collectors who know what to look for. So sit tight, watch closely, and listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you might just be checking your change with new eyes. One rare error version of this coin has already been valued at a stunning $45,000, and it could be hiding in your pocket or jar right now. Dr. Sally Ride was the first American woman in space, and this coin is a tribute to her incredible legacy. The design features her alongside a space shuttle window, peering out toward the future, a powerful image that reminds us of her courage, her brilliance, and the path she helped blaze for generations of scientists, explorers, and dreamers. The coin was minted in 2022 as part of the U.S. Mint's celebration of influential American women, with the P mint mark indicating it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But this isn't just a coin for history books. It's a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world thanks to some extraordinary mint errors that are pushing its value sky-high. So, what makes some 2022 P. Sally Ride quarters worth so much money? Let's talk about doubled die errors, which are some of the most sought after by collectors. These happen when the coin die shifts slightly during production, resulting in a doubling of parts of the design. On the Sally Ride quarter, collectors have spotted doubling on the inscriptions E pluribus unum, United States of America, and $quarter. You may also see subtle yet valuable doubling in the intricate details of Sally's hair or her figure inside the shuttle window. Even a small doubling can significantly increase the coin's value, especially when certified by a professional grading service. Next up are struck-through errors, which occur when foreign materials like grease or debris interfere during the striking process. This causes parts of the design to appear faded, missing, or distorted. Some examples on the Sally Ride quarter show parts of the space shuttle window or her face looking incomplete or blurred, which adds huge value if the error is clear and unique. Then there's the off-center strike, another big favorite among collectors. This is when the design is not properly aligned with the coin blank, resulting in a visibly shifted image, often with a crescent-shaped blank area on the surface. On a 2022 P Sally Ride quarter, a 10 to 15% off-center error with a visible date and mint mark can skyrocket in value. Die breaks or cuds are also appearing on some coins. These are raised areas where the die is cracked or chipped, leaving blobby or jagged shapes on the coin. One known die crack error on the Sally Ride quarter appears near the edge of the coin or around the shuttle. These are very popular in collector circles and are growing in value each year. To give you a real-world example at a recent coin auction. A rare 2022 P Sally Ride quarter featuring a crisp, double die and graded as MS 67 by PCGS sold for a record-breaking amount, proving once again that even modern coins can hold major value when paired with rarity and condition. If you want to assess your coin's value, here are a few quick collector tips. First, use a magnifying glass to check for doubling and tiny die breaks. Make sure your coin hasn't been cleaned or damaged, because uncirculated coins or those with minimal handling marks can be worth significantly more. If you believe you've found an error, consider getting it graded by NGC or PCGS, which will not only confirm its authenticity, but also help you get top dollar if you decide to sell. And here's a big takeaway. Just because a coin is recent doesn't mean it's ordinary. The 2022 P Dr. Sally Ride quarter is a perfect example of how modern minting flaws, combined with historical significance, can create coins worth far beyond their face value. So, to every viewer watching this, especially coin lovers and collectors, don't underestimate the power of what's in your pocket. You might just come across a Sally Ride quarter with an error that makes it one of the rarest coins in modern circulation. And yes, a rare 2022 P Dr. Sally Ride United States $quarter coin with the right error, in pristine condition, has been valued at an incredible $45,000. Last unique coin, we're exploring one of the most meaningful, modern, and surprisingly valuable coins to ever come out of your pocket change, the 2022 P United States $quarter coin honoring Wilma Maniller, Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation. This isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of leadership, heritage, and history. But here's the twist, a rare version of this quarter, struck with a fascinating mint error and in pristine condition, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $35,000. So, if you're watching this, you might just be holding onto a coin that could change your life. This coin is part of the U.S. Mint's American Women Quarters program, and Wilma Maniller was the third woman featured in the series. Her legacy as the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation is honored in a powerful design that depicts her gazing toward the future, framed by the seven-pointed star of the Cherokee Nation and the Cherokee syllabary. On the obverse, you'll find the right-facing portrait of George Washington, with the P mint mark signifying the Philadelphia Mint. Now, let's get into what every collector wants to know. What makes some 2022 P Wilma Maniller quarters rare? And why are some worth tens of thousands of dollars? The secret lies in a combination of scarce mint errors, condition, and historical importance. First, we have the double die error, one of the most sought-after errors in coin collecting. On this particular coin, doubling can sometimes be seen on the inscriptions, especially E pluribus unum, $quarter, and United States of America. If you look carefully using a magnifying glass, doubling may also appear subtly in the Cherokee syllabary or in the star. These are serious clues that your coin might be a rare variety. Then there are the struck-through errors, which happen when debris, grease, or foreign material interferes with the minting process. This causes weak or missing details on the coin. Some collectors have reported struck-through areas on Wilma's face, headdress, or along the edge of the quarter, making these pieces unique and highly collectible. Let's not forget the off-center strike, a very noticeable and exciting error where the design is shifted from its center alignment. If the strike is off-center by 10% to 20% and the date and mint mark are still visible, you may be looking at a coin that's worth hundreds, even thousands, depending on its grade. Another exciting error to watch for is the die chip or die break. These appear as raised, blobby bumps on the surface of the coin, often near the rim or inside the design. Dye chips around Wilma's headdress or in the star or background. Make your coin unique, and uniqueness is pure gold in the collector's world. Let me tell you about one recent find that shocked collectors. At a private auction, a 2022 Wilma Maniller quarter featuring a sharp double-die reverse and graded MS 67 by PCGS sold for an extraordinary amount, proving just how hot the market is for modern era coins. And as this series continues to gain popularity, values are only expected to rise. Now, if you want to assess whether your coin could be a valuable variety, here's what to do. First, examine your coin carefully in good lighting using a magnifier. Look for doubling in the text or unusual marks in the background. Next, check the coin's condition. Any coin with clear details, minimal scratches, and a clean, lustrous surface could be a candidate for high grading. If you suspect an error or have a coin in excellent condition, consider sending it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. Their certification will give your coin legitimacy and potentially unlock its full value in the market. And now for the big reveal. A rare 2022 Wilma Maniller $quarter coin with a confirmed mint error and exceptional condition has been valued at $35,000. Yes, $35,000. That's why every coin matters. That's why what's in your change drawer, wallet, or coin jar could be more than just 25 cents. It could be your ticket to something truly extraordinary. So collectors, don't let this opportunity slip away. Go through your coins, look closely, and share your discoveries in the comments below. And if you found a Wilma Maniller quarter with an unusual mark or want help identifying a possible error, post a photo or ask your question. We love hearing from our community of sharp-eyed collectors. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell icon so you never miss an update on valuable coins you could own right now. Thanks for watching and happy hunting, because the next $35,000 coin might be right in your hands.